So Amazon is looking for someone who is having a good skill in coding and having a good QA concept, and can also raise the bar in each and every round, because they are looking for someone who should have a proper understanding about code as well. Because if you are writing automation code, or if you are having any discussion with a developer, you should be able to understand each and everything. You should be the one who will be driving the entire QA thing from starting till end.
Hi everyone. Good afternoon. I am Dhwani from Geeks and I will be the host for today's session. So it is a great pleasure for me to welcome Miss Jyoti. Hi Jyoti.
Hi Dhwani, how are you?
How are you? I'm good. How are you?
I'm also doing good.
It's really great to have you here, Jyoti. So we'll just wait for a few seconds so that a lot of people can join in. And once they do, then we'll start with this session. So before actually going on with it, can you first introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. And first of all, thanks for having me. And my name is Jyoti Goyal. Currently, I'm working in Amazon as a QA too. Before that, I had spent a couple of years in Bolt Technology. And before that, I spent time in Citrix Bangalore. And Samsung R&D was my first company when I joined this company as a fresher.
Right. So that's a lot of experience down the line, right? So it's really great to have you here, and it's a pleasure for me to welcome you as well, Jyoti. So before we get into the deets of how you got the job or what does the job role entail, can you first tell me what is the most interesting part of your job?
So basically, nowadays, I have seen like most of the interviews, like people are very kind of behind the software development role. But I also want to say that like software quality engineer or the software development engineer in test role is also very exciting role. So if I talk about this role in Amazon, what exactly we do, so the QA role starts from the entry when the requirement comes, and ends when when we deliver any project onto the production. So currently, like I'm working in a project, so that is the App Store project. So it's like when any developer, has submitted their app in Google Play Store and want to migrate their app into the Amazon Play Store. So that's a kind of platform we are providing for those kind of developers. So here we test entire features, and we also automate like all the things. And we like, if you have to need certain apps, so that also we can get it from the developer. So that's an entire role in Amazon for a QA too. So it's not about you have to test only feature, you have to also write a code, you have to write complete code from the scratch to automate a certain feature. But
Right.
yeah, but it can be in any language. Like it's not particular about you have to write it in like C sharp or Java. Like as per the requirement you have to write it.
Right. So can you tell me about the number of rounds you faced for, like getting qualified for the QAE interview, and how did you prepare for it?
Yeah, sure. So firstly, I want to tell you that like in last 5 years, like I applied for 3 times, and this was the time I cracked the Amazon interview. So basically, it has around 6 to 7 rounds. Firstly, it starts with a written online written test. So they will ask you some QA question and some behavioral question. So that's not very tricky. It's a very easy one. And once you clear that, there will be certain rounds. So I can divide into few categories. So the first category is coding run one. Second one is the test enumeration round, where they will ask you to write test cases. And the third category is test data generation. So where they will give you one application, you have to come up with some test data, like how will you test that application. And the next section is a behavioral round. So that is also very important. So in my case, or like in like other cases also, what exactly happened, firstly, once you crack the written round, the online test round, they will schedule the virtual round, because like after pandemic, like most of the companies are scheduling, the virtual rounds. So they will schedule round, like it can be in any order, like whether the test animation round and coding round. So let's suppose your coding round in schedule, so they will ask you some coding question, or they're all like there they will also ask you to write, some optimized code as well. So once you clear that round, then they will schedule the test enumeration or test data generation round. But like let's say if your coding round is done, but some little issues there, so like they will not reject you, they will also give you one more opportunity. So they will also, like they can also conduct one more round through to just the candidate, like they give like proper opportunity to the candidate. So once the test coding and test data generation and test case round is done, so after that behavioral round will be there. And after in behavioral round, like I think it's very common nowadays, like they will ask you about your project, or like kind of they will give you certain situation, like how did you handle the project or how did you handle the team. And after that, like one more round also you can have with hiring manager, and plus bar raiser round. So bar raiser round is something like it is not fixed, like that guy can ask you anything, whether it's a coding one or your test case enumeration or test case generation, like whatever feedback like that guy got in your previous round. So that's how it goes. And like I did not do any preparation any specific to Amazon. Like I did my preparation from like common companies as well. So in case of QAE, in Amazon, one thing like we should take care that like in every round, like you have to raise the bar, because a lot of candidate comes, so they expect that like okay, if they are asking any question, they know that okay, this kind of basic answer people will give, but you if you have to crack it, you have to raise the bar in every round.
Right.
So I think
I mean, a
that's
lot of
it.
candidates apply every year, so I understand they look for exceptional candidates.
Yeah.
Right. So can you tell me what is the difficulty of all these rounds or and the QAE interview?
Yeah. So if I talk about the difficulty level as medium, and even I think it's vary from candidate to candidate. So if I talk about the coding round difficulty, so see, it's all about whatever practice you have done it. So in my case, what I did it, like I went to, like I did not choose any particular site. So I was aware that like in market there are like certain kind of platform where you can go and practice. So I chose, Geeks4Geeks and Lead Code. And after, like where I use daily, I used to go and I used to do some kind of practice for DSA question. And like the more you practice and the more you get, like that thing goes in every case, whether it is a QA question or the coding question. So if I say that if you solve the easy or medium question, the DS question, then you would be able to clear the Amazon interview. So that's what I have feel.
Right. So what are your daily tasks? Like, what are your main tasks on a daily basis?
See, a main task for any QA automation engineer is to take care of entire feature when a requirement comes. So firstly, you have to here understand the business case. What exactly is your requirement? So you have to drive each and everything from the beginning. You have to connect with the required stakeholder and the cross team. If any a cross team involvement is there, so it's like you also have to prepare the test plan, you have to get it reviewed, you also have to write down the automation strategies, and along with that you will be the one who will be deciding how you have to write the automation. And entire sprint the QA will be taking care of. And like even after once the testing is done, each and everything is done, so you will be the one who will be monitoring like each and everything, how your kind of traffic is going on, is there any particular error that we are getting on the project. So it's an entire
Right.
journey of QA in Amazon.
Right. So it's like the product, you are actually looking after the life cycle of that product.
Correct.
Right. So what are the tech stack requirements? Like what are the technical skills that are required to, like apply for this job role?
There are two things. Firstly, good coding, and the second one is good QA skills. Like you should be able to come up with good test scenarios, and you should be able to cover the edge cases as well, and you should able to understand. Like if I talk about let's say in QA cases, so it is not like they will give you any particular application. They can also give you let's say they can give you a method, and they can also ask you okay, can you please come up with the test data, like you have to break this method. So like that also they can ask you. So because many candidate thinks that in case of QA they will give you application and they will ask you okay, this is the application and you have can you, like, how will you test it, can you come up with certain sort of input. So it's not like that. So if you are applying for Amazon, so just keep in mind that first of all your coding skills should be very good, and second thing is like you should be good enough in the QA concepts.
Right. So, how important is DSA for this interview and the whole process?
Yeah. So, like nowadays, like if we go back, 5 to 6 year back, so there was a situation when companies were not expecting much, like the coding from a automation engineer. But nowadays, it is the kind of situation is like where each and every company demands a coding, because you have to write automation, and for automation you should know the basic concept of DSA. So if I talk about Amazon, like you should have a proper understanding about a basic DSA concept. So like I'm not saying that like they will go into deep, but you should have a proper understanding about array, string, linked list, tree, like because we should not keep ourselves like limited to only array string, because if we are going for a interview, they like interviewer can ask anything, like totally depend on the interview, like what they want to ask. So I feel that like we should have a proper we should have a proper clarity on the DSA, because if your concepts are clear, you can crack any interview, not only Amazon, like any company, whether it's a Microsoft or Google.
Right. So, what are the things that students should not do in an Amazon interview?
uh, I feel that one thing is very important in any interview, is like if any interviewer is asking any question, so just be vocal with your thoughts. So you should not, like, let's say if interviewer is asking any question, so most of the candidate what they does is they start writing code. Like first of all, like they don't try to understand the question what exactly they are asking. Firstly just try to understand the question, and after that if you have any doubt, just clear with the interviewer. Because if you will later try to clear, so interviewer will have a kind of, they can think that okay, like because you should have come up this kind of things in a beginning itself, because this should be very systematically. And second thing
Right.
is like if you have like whatever thing, like thinking, like whatever kind of solution you are having in your mind, just discuss with your interviewer. It should not be like a one way communication, it should be both way. The kind of full interview session should be very interactive. Like whatever doubts you are having, or if you are facing any difficulty, just discuss with your interviewer, because there might be a situation they can also give you some hints. And that, because sometimes I feel that interviewer is also think, because it's not about fresher, because I'm having 10 plus years of experience. So after certain experience, let's say they are giving any complex problem, so they want to understand that how you are reaching to the solution, like which kind of approach you are opting, so that also they
Right.
want to understand. So in that case it is very essential, if you will if you will think loudly, so that will really help you out, and even the interviewer itself.
Exactly. I mean, being able to communicate is an important part of, like being actually able to get to the solution. I mean, it is always possible that the approach you're thinking might not be the most appropriate approach. And talking to an interviewer can actually, like help us understand what exactly do they want. I mean, if they're asking me to build a system, but I don't, ask them for the system requirements, then I might as well just, like not be able to make that system. So that's
Exactly.
quite important. I mean, everybody I talk to via this platform tells me that communication is the most important part of cracking an interview. So that's correctly said. So, can you tell me what kind of projects should students work on? And personally, what kind of projects have you worked on to get this role?
Frankly, like I would say that like if I start from the beginning when I joined the Samsung as a fresher. So I feel that like if I talk about, there are two categories. First one is a fresher and second one who is experienced. So in case of fresher, like who want to jump, so basically uh, first part is like it depends on the interest as well. So let's say because I feel that people like who are in final year, like they can start work on the project, some like something where backend and front end both are involved, so that they will have a kind of will have opportunity to work on both front end and back end. Because if you are going for an interview, so like along with DSA, they can ask you some kind of top trending technology if you have worked on any front end and the back end technologies. But if I talk about from my experience QAE, they will like apart from DSA and QA, they expect a lot. So it's like you should know if you have worked on, let's say I am a pure backend automation engineer, so I have worked on the API automation. So like they can ask you anything like, and it depends on like which kind of technology I have worked upon. So let's suppose I have worked on API automation, I have used CI/CD pipeline, I have worked on test ng. So this kind of automation tools also they will ask you, like they will not go into deep, but if you are experienced and if you have mentioned in your resume, definitely they will ask you.
Right. So, I mean, I often come across people who, like think that doing computer engineering and like they don't see the opportunities that lie ahead of them. I mean, after engineering, they think it's a dead end. I mean, they just have to do a desk job, but there are so many opportunities since the computer systems are so, like so advanced right now. Every part of the system encompasses a lot of opportunities. So,
Exactly.
like getting projects in that are, like that opportunity centric can really help the profiles. Right.
Exactly.
So, I mean, since you have a lot of experience, your resume should be great. I mean, I know. So, for the freshers who are watching this video, do you think that resume plays an important role in landing a job? And how was your resume different from the others?
Yeah, of course. Of course, resume plays a very important role. So just think from a recruiter perspective, because recruiters are getting thousands of resume. So how they will differentiate that your resume is better than other? So I think that like what most of the candidate does is they create, they mention each and everything, like what entire project life cycle, each and everything, and they will make 5 to 6 pages resume. And frankly speaking, no one has that much of time to go through entire resume. So one thing I should suggest that the resume should be very short, and it should have very point to point details, because every recruiter is interested if you have a particular sets of skills. So let's say if I talk about QAE or any SDET or any automation engineer role, so at least you should highlight the proper skills. So let's say you can highlight your, if you have worked on the UI automation or API automation, and if you have worked on any CI/CD pipeline, so you can highlight that part. And no need to write very descriptive roles and responsibility and about the project, because once you will have a interaction with the interviewer, they will give you opportunity to tell each and everything. So there you will get chance to explain each and everything. So it's better keep your resume very concise, and highlight the part which companies are looking for. So that's why recruiter will definitely see that part, and definitely shortlist the resume. Because in my case also, my resume is just only one page resume. That's it.
Right. So, before we move ahead, can you tell if I'm perfectly audible to you? My video is lagging. I think I have an internet issue at my end. Am I perfectly audible to you?
Now you're audible. In between the video got paused.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'm all right?
Yeah.
Am I audible to you? Yeah. Okay.
You
So
are
a
audible.
lot
You are.
of companies also ask for cover letters, right? companies
Mhm.
spec cover letters, and they're often optional. So can you tell me how important a cover letter is, and should a person, like, make different cover letter for different companies, or one can go along in all those?
But seriously, like in my case, I have never created any cover letter. So I cannot tell anything on that, because I have seen my friends like who have created, but I feel that like if you have created, that's okay, but if you have not created, that's also okay, like it doesn't matter. But uh major thing that matter is your resume, because everyone is interested in your skills and your like what sort of technology you have worked upon. That's it. And maybe like
Right.
company, what is your last working company? That's it.
Right. So are there like different processes for graduates and interns, or is it a similar process?
Actually, I know the process for experience one, but about interns and graduates, actually, I don't have much idea about it. But I like recently, like in my team, like one of the candidate joins. So I just heard that like if they are hiring from any college, so they Amazon used to keep only 3 rounds, one online written test round, but that is also not fixed. Maybe like maybe it depends on college to college, so that's why like I'm not sure on that part. But for experience, I'm sure, I know that like in case of experience one, there would be 5 to 6 round, that is sure. But if you are having some having any mild concern in any one of the round, they can reschedule it, so it can go up to even 7 to 8 round as well.
Right. So does Amazon hire through referrals?
Amazon, I think, hire through both ways. I think referral, and if you have applied through whether LinkedIn or Naukri.com. But in my case, one of my friend referred in Amazon. But I don't think so. There is a any difference if you apply through any referral or through the Amazon jobs portal or LinkedIn. They give equal opportunity to all the candidates. And even if it is not like that, because I remember one of the guy on LinkedIn pinged me that like do they give any weightage to the people who if they have if you are referring to any candidate. So like it's not like that, they are not giving any weightage to the referral as well. So like all the rounds should be same if you are applying through any referral or through any third party sites.
Right. So what do you think that Amazon is exactly looking for? What kind of engineers is Amazon looking for?
Firstly, if I talk about for QAE for my role, so Amazon is looking for someone who is having a good skill in coding and having a good QA concept, and can also raise the bar in each and every round, because they are looking for someone who should have a proper understanding about code as well. Because if you are writing automation code or if you are having any discussion with a developer, you should be able to understand each and everything. You should be the one who will be driving the entire QA thing from starting till end. So you should like for let's say for developer, the system design round and coding is the main one, and whereas for QA, coding and QA concept are the major part. So if you are good in both of the skills, so definitely you would be able to crack the Amazon rounds.
Right. So I guess that's it for the questions that I have, Jyoti. So before we close this session, do you have any advice, a piece of, like, advice for the viewers of this video, and, like, any special comments for them?
Yeah. Like if you are the one who are preparing for QA or for Amazon QA or any other automation engineer role, so just focus on your coding skills, and coding skills are the one like which will not come very easily. if you will join any organization, whether it's a Geeks for Geeks or any other organization, they will not give you any magic. So they will be the one who they can teach you the basic concept, and you are the one you have to practice a lot. So if you are taking any course to improve the coding, so I'm the one, let's say, who are taking 3 months or 2 months, and like you are the one who are taking more time or less time. So totally depend on, the more you practice, the more you get. So it's better be consistent and be practice daily. So, and don't follow any rat race, because I have seen candidate, seeing the LinkedIn post, okay, these people are joining this company, so don't dishearten. Just practice and practice and practice. No company will give you a magic drink. So you are the one, you have to practice a lot, and one day definitely you will clear any or whatever company you want to get into. So, and if you have any doubt, just discuss with your friend circle, because because it's my personal experience. If you will discuss with your friends, you will get more ideas, because it's my personal experience. Because in Amazon, in last 5 years I applied 3 times, and this was the third time I cracked the Amazon interview. And my, like, in nutshell, I will tell you, first thing is, be vocal with your thoughts, and be consistent. Don't focus on others talk. Like, people will say you, I have practice a lot, 7 to 8 hours. So frankly speaking, no one can do 7 to 8 hours daily for 3 to 4 hours, because everyone has their own life as well. So if you are practicing 1 to 2 hour daily, that's more than enough. Just practice for 3 to 4 months. So definitely your coding skills will also be improved. And for QA stuff, you can follow any site, let's say Career Cup or Tech Beamer. Or if you can also discuss with your friends, if you like, if you have a similar kind of friend, like, who are working on automation engineer, or try to now note down each and everything. Very important point is like, if you are working on any coding or any QA stuff, if just write down each and everything, any important thing, even for behavioral round as well. Because I have seen the candidate who has cracked the coding round and the QA round, but they got failed in behavior. Because behavioral round is also very important, because they will ask you question about project, and if you will try to manipulate it and tell the story, they will easily figure it out, because they can also take the question from your story and they will ask you. So just write down each and everything and practice well. That's it, I can say that. And definitely you will crack the good company.
Right. So thank you so much, Jyoti. It was great talking to you, and this was quite an informative session. And I'm sure everybody learned a lot from you. And for those who have questions, like you can directly connect with Jyoti, and I'm sure she'll be more than happy to, answer some
Sure.
legitimate questions. So thank you so much, Jyoti, for taking out time from your schedule, and thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Have a great day ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Bunny. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.